Hey guys, and welcome to this video on Virgo rising in love and relationships. This video we're going to talk about what you need based on Virgo being your rising sign and the ruler of your 5th house and 7th house in relationships. I'm Cassandra and welcome to my channel, SaffronSage Astrology. For Virgo rising, first we're going to look at that rising sign as the lens through which you see the world. Because you see the world as a Virgo, you're more likely to, number one, attract relationships with people you want to fix. This is going to be one of the challenges. I'm not even going to, sugarcoat it for you guys. This is a Virgo challenge, is to raise to the higher vibration of Virgo, where instead of trying to fix the other person, you're able to kind of step back and know when to apply that and when not to. Virgo naturally wants to be better. There's a craftsmanship, there's a natural need to always kind of look through life from the lens of what is wrong and what is right. And so this is something that can be challenging early on in relationships, especially having Capricorn on that 5th house. There is a strong, both Virgo and Capricorn on love or relationship houses. And your rising sign is like the house of you, so it applies to every area of life if you just look through that lens. But, having Virgo, which needs control, and Capricorn also wants control on 2 out of the 3 houses we're looking at here today, really does put you in a strong position, or put you in a position where if you don't feel like you have control, you might not engage with a partner. Or control issues are significant. Now, for some Virgos and Virgo risings, this is about having control in the areas you need it and having a person who dominates, because Capricorn on the 5th house, some of you Virgo risings want to be dominated in the bedroom. Okay, I'm not even going to lie. But you also need to have control in every other area that you want control. So it's almost like you have to decide first where you're going to let the person have control, and then it's okay if they take control in that area only because you said it was okay. Other things to know about being a Virgo rising is that you really need your partners to make sense to you in terms of lifestyle. A Virgo rising usually is not going to be like a groupie. They're usually not going to be in a relationship where they feel like the other person's way of doing stuff is way, way, way different, where it's like it just has to make sense to the Virgo rising. Whatever makes sense to you, it has to make sense. Other, Virgo rising challenges in love are, one, your own perfectionism on yourself or other people, just depending on how this is showing up. So having Capricorn on that 5th house, you may be very, very discerning in who you allow into, even to your bedroom for a one-night stand, for example, because number one, Capricorn can make you more traditional in terms of dating, the fun side of dating, where you are more reserved. Now, there can be many other placements that mitigate this, so know that is not a for sure thing, depending on what planet you have here. Lots of other planets can change this. And so, but no matter what, you got requirements, okay? Virgo risings, when it comes to relationships, you guys got requirements with that Capricorn on that 5th house being rules, structure, and order. Some of you have a hard time having fun and letting loose. Now, this can get in the way of dating. If you're a single Virgo rising watching this, you really might need friends or other people to take you out and make you have fun. Or you may find that you're more comfortable doing the dating thing in a more structured way, like going to a speed dating event or trying to merge business with pleasure, because you do have Capricorn there on that 5th house. You might enjoy working so much that you're more likely to meet someone at work, not because of where the planets are in your chart, but just because it's more natural for you to go out and enjoy yourself in a situation where there is structure, where it's not so like free-flowing and open. Oftentimes, especially when you're younger, wherever you have Capricorn on your chart is where you will hold yourself back. So Virgo risings, you could think about how you hold yourself back from dating, sex, relationships in the past. Moving on now to your 7th house. Okay, so Virgo risings have Pisces on the 7th house, which means for Pisces, man, I'm not trying to harp on you guys, but I know all the challenges of this one because this one is mine. So if I seem too negative, I'm going to just apologize in advance. I've looked into this deeply. So Pisces on the 7th house, you need to feel like either your relationship is magical takes you to a magical place. You'll be really in touch with the ideal for relationship, the ideal of like what you wish you had. And there will be possible experiences that pop that bubble a little bit, burst that little bubble of the hope of a relationship. So you may have experiences where you're younger with disillusionment in relationships because of that Pisces on that 7th house. People with Pisces on the 7th need partners who you feel like you can go with the flow around. It's not going to work. As a Virgo rising, if your partner is constantly criticizing you, constantly telling you what you can and can't do, constantly, trying to limit you or tell you shouldn't be dreaming or trying to help you see the realistic side, even though as a Virgo rising, you're realistic, you don't want them to be realistic. They need to be the dreamy people, the healing people, the compassionate people. So what Virgo rising needs in their long-term relationships is a partner who has compassion, and they sort of bring ease to whatever area of your life Neptune is placed in your chart. If Neptune is in the third house, they bring ease to your mind, they ease your mind. If Neptune is in the 4th house, you want a partner who brings peace and ease in your home. You would not be okay with someone who brings chaos into your home. If Neptune is in the 10th house, they might bring peace and ease to your public image or your work in some way. And if it's the 8th house, well, then they're going to bring peace and ease into your sex life. And that's probably going to be through just having more of a gentle demeanor when it comes to those more intimate activities. Then there's, going back to that Capricorn on the 5th house, you may also be drawn to partners who are more responsible than you, more older than you, more mature than you, really have that Capricorn quality of like having some kind of solid foundation in life, even though you have Pisces on that 7th. So how can this play out? Virgo risings could have times in their life where they date. You guys could go from dating homeless people to dating like a Reiki person, to dating like someone who smokes a lot of weed, to dating someone who's the owner of their own company because you have these two very different energies on your 5th and 7th houses. So it's like you could make that 7th house happy and go for the homeless person or the energy person or the really compassionate healer type person, someone who's just going to go with the flow. And then you could go back to that 5th house energy of the person who really has their stuff together. Now, the perfect world is to somehow meld these energies together and find someone who has the structure in life, but also has some kind of compassionate or dreamy aspect to them. And when I think of Pisces, I think of like going to another world. So sometimes you need someone who can take you to a different world. There's an etherealness to Pisces energy. There's a feeling of like, you might attract people who need a little bit of space to be in their own little world. And then, they come back to you and you do your everyday stuff together. It just kind of depends. Again, partly on where that Neptune is in your chart. And also remember, if you have planets in those houses, that's going to change the energy significantly. So if you want more on this, you can get my Ideal Love profile video. It's a 10-minute video that goes deeper into your more personalized reading of this same exact thing based on your chart, but it's based on your personal chart. So we look to where the planets are to get all the details of your ideal love situation and what your needs are in relationships. So click the link below to get in on that, and let me know in a comment below if this reading resonated. I always love hearing from you, and thank you all so much for all your likes, shares, subscribes, everything you guys do. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you all in the next video.